Just like myself, I know a lot of international students are more focused on the perks and potential opportunities that comes with studying in the US. We do not think about the financial burden that we will be subjecting ourselves to for the first few years when you are here as an international student. So in this video, my goal is to paint a picture of the financial system in the US so that when you come here, you are not struck by surprise. Hi, my name is MI Banks. These are my lived experiences. I will paint this picture in 3 steps. First, I will help you understand the credit system and how it is set up. Secondly, I will help you understand 2 major big expenses, that is housing and transportation, and how you can avoid paying expensive car insurance. And finally, I will help you understand investing and taxes, how you can also benefit from the system while you are a student through investing. Finally, I'll give you my few thoughts on how you can combine all of this knowledge to win. The credit system is very similar to what you have in your home country. You have banks, you open a current or a savings account with them and you make a deposit. And whenever you want to use some money, you go to that same bank or their network and ask them for some money and they give you. In addition to that, the US has the credit system. In the credit system, you do not have to have any deposit in your account. The bank will give you access to a certain amount of money that you can always use. As long as you pay them back by the end of filling period or every month, they are happy. If you always pay how much money you use, in fact, they will increase your limit. They will say, hey, you can use more money now if you want. Okay, now for you to have access to that money though, the bank wants to be sure that you are not a high risk. What do they mean by that? They want to be sure that if you take their money, you will pay back, right? Here comes the credit score. So the US maintains a credit score system. This credit score system is maintained by 3 organizations. These organizations keep a record of all your financial activities. That is your income, loans, how much debt you have, all of those things. Okay, those 3 institutions give you a credit score. The credit score shows how likely you will pay back your debt. Okay, that is the credit system. Now, because you are new, there is no record of you paying or taking loan from anybody. So this means by default, you cannot participate in that credit system. So how do you do it? Firstly, you need to obtain an SSN. An SSN is a unique number that you get from the government. You can find tons of other resources on the subject, but you obtain an SSN and then you provide this SSN to any financial institution that you will do business with, whether it's a bank, a credit union, whatever the case may be. You provide this to them so that they keep it in their record and report it to those 3 organizations, and over time you will build your credit score. Now, how do you find your first credit card? This is important, okay? A lot of banks will not give you a credit card because they have no data on you, but there are few organizations that actually take the risk. One of them is Discover. You can go search for Discover. This is not a sponsored content. Go search about them. They have a basic credit card that they will give you access to about $1,000 or $2,000 that you can start using. If you pay whatever money you take from them every billing period, they will increase your credit limit. But the common solution that other banks use is what they call a secured credit card. So in this case, you would open an account with them and you make a deposit, and that deposit becomes your limit, and over time you use that to build your credit score. Okay, for your first credit card, those guys like new customers. In most cases, they will say, hey, take our credit card for $5,000. You don't have to pay us all the money that you use every month for the next 12 months. As long as you pay us some minimum every month, we are cool. So those guys want you to accumulate a lot of debt so that at the end of the day, if you are not able to pay them off, they make a lot of money from those interest and fees. So be aware of this when you think of your first credit card. In my case, I started with Discover. They gave me like a $2,000 card. I ensured that I paid back whatever I used every month, and in the first year, my credit history was becoming good. Secondly, your 2 major expenses: your housing, your car, and the car insurance. The housing, general rule, if you're coming from Africa, in most cases, you are paying rent annually. In the US, rent is usually paid every month. There are 3 main requirements when it comes to renting. One is rental insurance. The second is a deposit that the landlord will usually want. In most cases, they want 1 month worth of rent as your deposit. I've seen other landlords that also want you to have about 3 times of your rent as your income. So in that case, you want to have a roommate in a way that when you combine your income, you meet that income requirement for you to have your apartment. Now, the next thing is having your first car. The US is set up in a way that it's very difficult for you to move around. If you're not living in a major city that has a very good transit system, you will always need your own personal vehicle. And here is where you will lose money as well, because it's a requirement, of course, for you to have a car insurance before you can drive your car. Now, when you approach the car insurance companies do not have any history or data on you, so they will charge you a premium to insure your car. If you go to their online quoting tools, the first thing they do is to ask you, have you had insurance in the US in the last 30 days? The obvious answer is no. And in that case, they cannot calculate your risk. Okay, so they will charge you a premium. So one hack here, so you can actually go in person and speak to an agent and say, hey, I've been driving in my home, this is my license, this is a record of my car insurance back home, I want a better deal. I've saved myself a lot of money from that. When I first got my car insurance was like $2,400 for the first 6 months. This is for a car that I got for like $3,000. Okay, and I've seen a lot of other international students will just go ahead and pay that money because they have no idea that they can actually negotiate those high fees. Okay, so you can talk to them and you will find a better deal. And again, it's another topic, but you can always go to a marketplace, do your due diligence and get a used car. Because again, if you want to purchase a brand new car, your interest rate for that loan, if you don't have it cash, is going to be very high because you are very new, your credit history is non-existent. Finally, on investing, as an F1 student, you can actually invest. You can participate in the financial market. You can invest in stocks. You can do everything except day trading. According to the IRS is the tax institution of the US. You cannot do day trading as an F1 student because as an F1 student, you are not allowed to work while you're studying. Okay, and day trading is considered a full-time job. So as long as you do not complete up to 5 trades in a week, it is not considered a full-time income. And for most day traders, they literally complete a number of trades in a single day or week. So you should not be doing any day trading. This takes me to taxes. If you are going to be working for your university, maybe for companies during summer, doing internship, those employers will take some portion of your income and pay taxes on your behalf. During the taxing season that usually ends in April, you are required to file your own taxes. This is another important part. If you make money from investing and you withdraw that money from any platform that you use, you have to pay taxes on that income. Putting all of this together, starting from your credit score, building your credits, avoiding expensive car insurance, investing, and understanding your taxes. Think about the long term. I'm talking to graduate students. If you are a graduate student and you do research or some work for your university, for the short term, your stipend will be almost exactly what you will need every month to survive. When I say to survive, it means to pay your rent, to have food, to pay your insurance, like to do basic stuff. Be prepared for that you are not going to make money like this. That is why you have the summer to do internships or fellowships and use those opportunities to raise some money. You have to understand that you are investing in yourself, and if you have any financial plan, you have to pause them because some of these things will subject you to a lot of stress. You will be frustrated. I hope this was helpful. I hope this will help you reduce your financial stress and all the troubles that come with moving to the US to do your studies. My name is MI Banks. I share my lived experiences here. Peace.